Hey, hey people, grab your asses and hold on to your humanity, cause I just ran off camera back to Filing Shrine. I swear I did nothing more. I tried to grab the key that we missed from the rooftop, but I didn't manage it. And such is the way of things. And I was planning to use these soul items off camera as well, but then I forgot. Let me take a new drink here. So, lots of stuff in the last episodes. We killed the Moonlight Butterfly, we've explored Darkroot Garden, and most of Darkroot Basin as well. Well, the other way around, I should say. Break the gaudy pottery here. We'll save a boss soul now, just for the sake of it. And let's dump a few levels here. Only a handful though. I think I will go with this. Strength and dexterity, basic stats, very useful all the time, every time. And with that, we're off back to the depths. Nothing new here, as we haven't saved anyone recently. Nice try. So yeah, that's on today's agenda. Just go through the depths, and as you saw, the place with the slime, where we picked back up and left for upgrading our items with the ember that we gave to Andre. There's going to be some slimy stuff going on this episode. It's actually a fairly dangerous zone as well, so I hope I will manage. One of my favorites again, because I don't care what you say, I love sewer levels. And swamp levels, they're my favorite. There's just something about a really grotesque, disgusting place with evil things that it's just gross. And swamp monsters are pretty cool. Like bullying this guy. I mean, there's so little he can do. Oh, clapped him. Mind the thieves back there, and here we are. Traveling doesn't take too long. I mean, there will be a method of fast traveling later on in the game, but it's just the world is so seamlessly connected that you wouldn't actually need one of such traveling methods. You could just run everywhere. I've done a run where I once just didn't use the teleportation at all. And there's the flailing attack again. Easy as pie, and as you can see, you could actually just skip the whole of the kitchen area by just jumping down here. That'd make you miss the ember, and actually let's take... yeah, I'll go back. There's a different route we can still take. So yeah, the door there is basically our main means of accessing the sewer area. And these butchers are dead. Kill the hollow here. Take care of the dogs. This cross crest shield isn't actually 100% physical reduction. I mean, I think it's fairly close. 95, yeah. But it still lets you... the enemies will do chip damage through your shield. They've packed a nice dinner in here. But I think Flynn is vegan. You can actually jump down this trash chute. And looks like they actually do eat humans, as Laurentius was afraid of. And this is the sewers. And there's a ratty down there, a really mean looking ratty. And if you're actually wanting to prepare yourself for the upcoming journeys to and below, you might want to grab the spider shield. Why? Let's go through it. Has resistance to poison. So yeah, that's a hint of what's going to happen. Again, it's a textbook plunging attack. One hit from a well upgraded weapon is enough to kill it. And it should give us twin humanities for our troubles. No, just humanity. And while we're here, just loot the chamber. And coincidentally, a sewer chamber key. In any community, a few bad apples are sure to exhibit insatiable greed. If they were turned undead and banished to the depths, would they reconsider their ways? Use this key to see for yourself. That's such a mean text. So yeah, with that, let's just start exploring. Again, this is the alternative route of entering this place. And you can see the rats are more scared of you than you are of them. Potentially. I mean, that's the bollocks you tell everyone who's scared of something. And another one of these spooky slimes here. So gross and scary. I swear I had a minor heart attack the first time when I run into the trap with the first one of these slimes. And up ahead you can see a few more bigger ratties. See, the small one is just backing off. He don't want no trouble with us. Can I make him back off to the hole? No. Oh, careful, careful, don't fall down. Oh no, oh no, where are you gonna go? Oh no, he's stuck. Is he? Oh. No, he can't actually fall through that hole. So yeah, just take care of him and let's not bully the animals. Let's leave that one alone and instead focus on the bigger threats on the horizon. As you can see, there's a caster there. They're actually called channelers. Will he see us from here? He will. And he does the little dance. You can see the aura will pop into these rats shortly. There we go. Which means their damage is largely increased. And looks like our fireball just clipped one that was about to ambush us later on. If you untoggle your targeting, you can actually aim the fireballs with your stick. But they still don't have too much of a range. So we will have to aggro one of them. Or several of them. You can see they do a whole lot of damage now, so be careful. There is another route to the area, so you could take care of the channeler a bit more easily. But as it turns out, I didn't take the route. However, there's only one more remaining, just time to get his attention. Oh no, yeah, that was close. Let's take a check behind the corner and then take care of this guy. Easy as pie. Well, not always, those big rats can really mess you up, and here be careful. I mean, you can see the crates are peculiarly placed. There's ratties inside of them, waiting to bust out. Same thing here. Nope. Thought you'd fall for it. And a large shard to let us start upgrading our items further. And that's a fairly wide and open area. You can see the glow of an item there, and it does suggest that you'll be ending down there soon enough. And we did go through the small tunnels there, so let's just go about willy-nilly. More filth-ridden tunnels. An item. A poor hollowed soul. We just plunged them of their last remains. A chute downwards. There are many ways down, and as you might imagine, you don't want to fall down to pitfalls. If we could actually hit, there's a fair amount of a few ratties here and there. Oh my goodness, don't poison me, bro. Oh no, I said bro. Oh. A little ratty. He's not harmful, and he actually disappears when he runs around the corner. I don't know why, but he does his job, providing a little bit of ratty atmosphere. Rotten corpses, real gross here. You can see this is the place where filth goes to die. And in here, a fantastic weapon. Well, not really. It's, let's face it, like, I'll try to be brutally honest too. Great Axe is not so good. The attacks consume a lot of stamina. And, well, this R1 attack is very good, but the strong attacks, they're so slow and they're very telegraphed. Anything works, well, yeah, you can play through the game with any weapon ever, but so much is bluntly better. There's a whole roof full of these slimes, and they're just slowly wading towards us. Back towards that way, with the torch ahead, is the main entrance to from the depths. With the first slime that spooks the crap out of you with a trap. And this you open with the sewer chamber key, and you can rest here. We can actually dump something to level up a little bit. Yeah, I'll just put more in health. You can't go wrong with health. Let's see if we can sneak up on him. Do we have a knife so we can make it backstab him? Not really. Well, kind of. Well, that's not a backstab, is it? That's a backstab. If you go for backstabbing, just stab them with your main weapon, because chances are that's the one you've been upgrading the most. And down here, what is this? It does not open from this side. Suggests another shortcut. Let's see. Again, as we rest, all the enemies respawn. I want to be careful, because, you know, the meter in the bottom of the, well, rather closer to the middle of the screen, was building up as they hit us, and here we go, rats drop humanity. Why? My theory is because they feed off of corpses. So yeah, they build up poison on you. There it is again. If the meter maxes out, you start ticking down. The rat moonwalks down. We can do a plunging attack, and yeah, the humanity is basically the reason I tend to kill rats whenever I see them. Each so-called soft humanity, indicated in the upper left again, increases your item discovery chance, and I do think it maxes out to 210. Or, well, yeah, 210. Let's take one of these chutes down. And a frightening encounter with a very specific enemy. A basilisk. And just so you know, those bulging eyes are not really their eyes. Not an enemy you want to tackle with if you're, well, inexperienced. Rats, on the other hand, you can probably handle. Oh my god. And in here, a specific encounter happens. So far, the knights we've met seem to be at least somewhat decent human beings. Even Lothric. But this one, you can tell just by looking at him that he's a fairly dangerous fella. Unless you just parry him continuously. But yeah, that's Knight Kirk for you. He comes and invades you, tries to steal your humanity. Not very knightly behavior. When you do vanquish an invader, you actually get 1 point of humanity from their bloodstain. And there's a chance that Kirk drops his weaponry as well. So yeah, he's an NPC. Again, looking around really pays. You might miss the slimes when you're looking at the piles of crap on the floor. And that's the waterfall. Well, I struggle to call it that, because let's face it, it's a sewer. So who knows what's in there. The big rat room had the entrance to the waterfall, and here we find the door that did not open from that side. But here it is, swung wide open. Unlocks a shortcut, and by that you might be able to piece together that we're closing into the end of the sewer. Indeed, seems like there's a big door ahead. But first, let's pay a visit to the basilisks. Oof, scary corpse twitch. This is basically where you'll fall down to whenever you fall down in the holes on the earlier parts of the level, near the channel around the giant rats. A tip for tackling these guys is, well, there's this tight corridor way you can basically funnel them through, because they can't attack you, and always try to take them one by one, because let's go through the basic attacks they have with this one. All they can do is spit. I said that strangely. See, they rear up and they spit, and if you stand on it, strange, it did not happen there. Again. There we go, you get a build-up of something that looks like a skull. It's actually a curse, and we found 2 NPCs that sell curse-related itemry. Oswald of Karim at the bell tower, the pardoner, and the undead merchant by the shortcut from the aqueduct to Firelink. And if you get cursed, it is the most severe status effect, and I really do wish more games did something like this. If you get cursed, it halves your HP and keeps you permanently hollowed until you manage to break it, which is only doable by, well, yeah, using one of the purging stones. And here we find an Eye of Death, a covenant item, much like the sunlight metal. Lure phantoms from other worlds. The dreadful eyes of death spread disasters across neighboring worlds. Phantoms lured to the host world may end up as victims, allowing the eyes of death to multiply and leading further proliferation of bane. It's usable for an oncoming covenant later on in the game, which adds difficult enemies into the games of other players that you've networked with or managed to connect with. Really, well, in theory it sounds amazing. You're joining you're joining an online thing to make the game harder for others, but the ugly truth behind it is it only works for people who are New Game Plus and higher, which again drastically reduces the amount of people that will be even facing the hard enemies that you put up. Let's see if I can actually take a look at the proper eyes of these things. Or no? There it is. Actually, what a good zoom. It's in their snout things under these bulging eye sacs. It's a creepy little detail. I love it. And in here, a ring of the evil eye. According to legend, this ring contains the spirit of the evil eye, a dark beast which assaulted Astora. The strength of the evil eye does not waver, and HP is absorbed from falling enemies. A fairly useless ring, considering this game only has 2 slots for rings per character. A useless ring pretty much in Dark Souls 2 as well. Little to no uses, but well, yeah, if I was still using the blue tearstone ring, I'd replace it with that. And even then, I don't know. The blue tearstone ring can actually proc, and because when you reach low HP, it grants you the defensive. I don't actually know if it works retroactively, as in if you take a hit that reduces you to below 25%, does it activate upon that hit or just afterwards? I don't know that detail. If I did, I might use it more. Seems fairly safe. Actually, the slime dropped us a bit of something. A large shard. They're not too reliable sources of farming them, but it's nice to get them. And in here, another friend.
Aye, Shemai. I'm good day to you. I'm Donald of Xena. I'm just a peddler of sorts. I adore trinkets and oddities, so I trade for them.
Seems like a jolly enough guy. sells you crystal items and his own armor. A strange helm from the ancient land of Xena, birthplace of the curious dealer Damnol. Wisdom horns, armor of glory, vanquisher's claws, and explorer's boots. And then crystallized items. They're actually fairly unique as far as weapons go. They cannot be repaired, but they do massive damage. He sells a bottomless box, which is useless, because, well, if you want to dump your useless items in some menu hell, you can use this. But I just stack everything. And then he sells buffer essence.
I'm afraid I don't see anything here.
Okay. Bye bye. Then let's... Oh, he was still alive. Let's take a look at this area. Again, it's the open area we saw with the channeler up above. And I think... Actually, wasn't it? I think there was something about... If the channeler up above is alive... Yeah, this is the thing. If you leave the channeler up above alive, he will actually become fairly big of a nuisance. I mean, I'm terrible at hiding secrets in these, aren't I? It's going to be a boss. And if you leave the channeler alive, he'll buff the boss. And in here, Knight Solaire, ready to help us as always. And in here, Knight Lautrec, strangely enough ready to help us. But I do not recommend for getting any help for this one, as they do make it just a bit more of a hassle. Let's see what it is. Very terrifying design, I do love that. Don't be daunted by the size, because it's actually its weakness as well. He slams his head down and prepares to charge at you. Don't get hit or run over. Just head behind him and for bonus points cut the tail off of it. Oh. Nope. Dodge the tail swipe. So yeah, to basically don't go for him unless he does this. And at that point swing for the head thing here. And when he rears up, run away quickly. He's easy enough to dodge if you move out of the way as soon as he starts rearing up. The tail nets you a weapon, which we will look at after he's defeated, and renders the tail attack useless. And this is a bad idea, because if you go close to him, he might start stomping or just rear back. Is he actually jumping for us? He is, strangely enough. This is an attack you definitely want to avoid. He pukes. I don't think I'm far enough to actually dodge the effect of that. I am. But if you're in the ground zero of the dragon puke attack, it actually deals a lot of damage. Again, dodge. And then hit at the rear while you have the chance, while it regains its strength. And once it gets upright, just run. And it should slam its head down. At which point you go at him. Just don't get caught, that's the main trick here. And that's the Gaping Dragon. And here a notable item, Blighttown key. Key to Blighttown from the depths of the Undead Burg, swallowed by the Gaping Dragon. As its name suggests, Blighttown is a place of great pestilence. Even the polluted inhabitants of the depths are aware of its dangers, and built this mighty door in hopes that they could remain safely separated. And in here, starter gear for the warrior class. And it is time for Blighttown now. You could actually, again, with the master key, you don't even need to fight the gaping dragon, because I believe you can just straight up open the door to Blighttown with it. And with the master key you can even practically skip. Whoa! Poor thing! So yeah, there's a strange thing where corpses that you leave in areas that you've visited, when you come back to them, they can be a bit wonky. Do you have anything to say? No. And this is the great door to Blighttown. So yeah, you thought it'd get better, like, it's sewers. It can only get better, right? Well, this area really defies imagination in so many ways. It's just... it's amazingly done. I can't praise it enough. It's basically a community of swamp-dwelling evil things. Oh, frame drops there, and did I just die? No. Did he just die? No. Dangerous enemies. Getting hit a time or two too many will just result in you getting poisoned. Not many tips for them. If you're afraid of them, just... I don't even know. What tips can I give? They're tough guys. Try to fight them one by one. And then the game throws two at you. But you can aggro them one at a time. And here we are, the start of Blighttown. I will definitely have to do something with the video, because I think rendering this will be way darker than it needs to be. I prefer parrying, but parrying is always risky. Especially that lunge attack there. I think the video will be called quits at the first bonfire here. Let me tune up the brightness here. Oh, actually it is maximum bright. It still looks dark as heck. A dung pie! Classy! Atrocious fecal waste material. Yeah. It's vile. Get the attention of this barbarian here. Wow. That was a frame drop if you didn't guess. In the distance you can see some of the upcoming enemies are actually heading for us already. Oh wow. I need to take a sip before he gets to me, because they do a jumping attack. Damn. They are easy to stagger, so combos take care of them well enough, as well as big weapons, because you can just swing at them and they'll fall and tumble. But yeah. Jump attack. I'm trying to be quiet because there's something to be gained by listening. As you can see and hear from the faint tapping noises, there's a guy up ahead trying... I'll actually zoom on him right now. There we go. Who's trying to aim blow darts at us. Extremely dangerous enemy. I mean, I haven't gotten the status effect yet, but if you thought poisoning was dangerous, these guys inflict toxin, which is much worse. It lasts for a long time, and also drains your HP really fast. Okay, no parrying here apparently. And they do have a grabbing attack. Thank goodness for invulnerability frames. They also have the really spiteful, like, pushing attack. Oh wow, he didn't die. Oh goodness me. There we go. Once they're taken care of, yeah, actually, I want to show most of the game, so I won't be skipping areas that I normally do. Oh. Oh. as you can see, this one just wants to get up. But if you keep skidding down on them long enough, they'll lose more stamina than you will and just fall. See, flailing is starting to become very effective. Very eerie looking place. Just a soul. It's worth picking up though, I think. Just rickety wooden buildings everywhere. And nothing but empty sludgeness below. Sludgeness, is that a word? It should be. So yeah, I think we might be a bit overdue with the quitting of this episode, but yeah. I wonder if you can actually jump there and use it. You probably can, but I'll not do that. There is a jump we have to make though, and this is a very devious area when it comes to like platforming and stuff. That item there. Oh. Wow. Almost scared me. I heard him coming though. This is a mean leap to do, but I'll try it. If you don't manage it, it's okay. It's not an irreplaceable item. But just, like, when you reach the end of the plank at the end, just take the leap then. You find an Iaito. Some inches of glorious Nippon steel. And I'll show you what it's about. Katana forged in an eastern land is drawn from the scabbard at lightning speed using an Iaijutsu technique. And the technique in question is there. You draw it from the sheath, and it actually goes pretty far. And I played a lot with this weapon when I was like completely spellbound by the game. This attack, it's just, there's so many uses for it. It cuts widely. It's very fast, well, on one-handed, and it just swings smoothly. It's always vertical though, which is a bit of a weakness, because if you were swinging it horizontally, you could inflict many enemies with it. And it stacks, as you can see down here, auxiliary effects. You have bleeding, as indicated by the 300, that's the standard value for bleeding, and then poison, and then divine and occult. Divine would mean it'd keep undead down from respawning, and occult is specific damage against specific enemies. So yeah, it does bleed, and it has a brilliant moveset in my opinion. So if you're going for, and it has high scaling and dexterity. I do believe it's if you upgrade it long enough, it'll get back to A. But yeah, not ours now. We want to use the longsword, basic weapons for basic tasks. Plain end about that life. And with that, I think we'll quit it here, at least for the time being. I've done a bench recording session now. And yeah, I don't know when the next ones will be, but hey, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.